everyone, it is Holly. I just filmed some videos because I got my hair done today. My curls are starting to fall, I feel like, because that's what happens. I also keep touching my hair. But I thought I would start this video because I started reading this book on while I was like getting my hair processed. So I am doing a series of 4 videos, God willing, for the holiday season this year, doing 4 different categories of holiday romances. So contemporary holiday, historical holiday romances, non-Christmas holiday romances, and 2024 holiday romance releases. And this one is the historical holiday romance, which was weirdly harder to find books for than I expected. So I was also trying to avoid books I have read before. I know I own a Sabrina Jeffries book, but I didn't want to do that. I already did pick one that is a reread for me, but I remember absolutely nothing about it. I actually wonder if I even did. So the first one, which I started today while I was getting my hair done, is Season for Temptation by Theresa Romain, who is an author I've heard of, but I have never read any of her books. This is a little older. It's from 2011. It is the first book in her Holiday Pleasures series. I believe that they're like all like Christmas romances. So let me read you the synopsis. 2 sisters. Julia Harrington is overjoyed when her stepsister Louisa becomes engaged to a viscount, no less. Louisa's only hesitation is living a life under the ton's critical gaze. But with his wry wit and unconventional ideas, Julia feels James is perfect for Louisa. She can only hope to find a man like him for herself. Exactly like him, in fact. One choice. As the new Viscount Matheson, James wished to marry quickly and secure his title. Kind, intelligent Louisa seemed a suitable bride until he met her stepsister. Julia is impetuous and irresistible, pledged to one sister, yet captivated by another. What is he to do? As Christmas and the whirl of the London season approach, James may be caught in a most scandalous conundrum, one that only true love, a bit of spiritus punch, and a twist of fate will solve. It does have a 3.24 rating. Some of the first ones were not very good that came up for me. I am like 15% of the way in right now, and I'm not sure. At first I was like, I don't know about this. Now I'm more open-minded. I'm trying really hard not to DNF books for this series, and I don't think this is going to be a DNF at this point, but I was worried at the beginning there. The Julia in particular, she comes across very immature and like not in a negative way. Like she doesn't act in a way that I think is like inappropriate necessarily, but like, you know, she's like quirky and she, you know, like she jokes around and she laughs and she, you know, she's not like other, maybe that's what it is. Like she's not like other girls, but it's just like because she like doesn't have respect, I feel like, for society. And maybe I think we're getting the impression that their parents are a little unorthodox, and so maybe with that, like, it'll kind of explain it. Like the Hathaway series by Lisa Kleypas, I feel like some of the girls in that family are a little unusual because of how they were raised, in which case that makes sense. I get it. But right now it feels like she's just like that because like we need a fun, quirky girl for him. So I don't know. But like, it's okay. We'll see. I will update you. I got it from my library and I wasn't paying attention. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't send it to my Kindle. So I have to read it on my phone, and I hate reading on my phone. Now, I could add Libby to my iPad and everything and then read it on my iPad so it's at least a bigger screen, but I don't know. Maybe I'll go through that hassle. We'll see. Hello, just a quick update. It is after midnight. I need to go to bed. But I'm waiting for a video to export, and I have clothes in the washer, and they're going to be like another 25-30 minutes. And if I didn't have a front loader, I wouldn't care, but I feel like they're going to be disgusting. I shouldn't have put them in, but I felt optimistic at the time. with the top loaders, I feel like you would be fine leaving them overnight, but with the front loader, I'm just gonna like have to watch them again, I feel like, in the morning. I shouldn't have done it. Anyways, I am almost 25% now into this book that I can't remember. Season for Temptation. And it's like still okay. Like there's nothing bad about it. It's just not working for me. But I realized just randomly, I went out grocery shopping and I was thinking about it and I was like, there has been no mention of Christmas or even like the time of year. I mean, I think like in theory we are in the winter. So like, is this a Christmas romance? It was on a Christmas romance list. So I don't know. This book does have like funny chapter like headings, or like they're supposed to be funny. Like this one is in which baboon behavior leads to unfortunate consequences. Like they are numbered, but they also have that. So I don't know, but yes. Oh, my video finished exporting, so I can upload it now. Okay, I'm gonna read a little bit more. This is my alarm for my laundry. We'll see. I have to get up tomorrow morning and go do 5 miles. So that is part of why I want to go to bed. And Oscar will probably wake me up at 7 a.m. anyways. I love him. I do. I would love him a little bit more if he didn't hit me in the face. Early in the morning. Okay. I will update you later.
The master won't tolerate it, not one bit. We prepare and serve the frail of Trinity Cabaret. You're alone and you're scared, but the banquet's all prepared. No one's groovy.
You say, put them on your head. I'm your more, I'm your more. Make me
Get it clean, that's all. No, bad horsey. Sheesh, you think he never met a...
Is it just me, or did it get unseasonably dark all of a sudden?
All right, wait 1 second.
Oh, thank you. All right, let's start this thing over. Hi, everyone. I'm Olaf, and I like getting gorgeously tanned in the summer. I finally see a summer breeze blow away a winter storm. To find out what happens to summer water when it gets too warm. And I can't wait to see what my buddies will think of me. Just imagine how much cooler I'll be inside.
Oh, it's a human. What are you doing down here in the realm?
Oh, I just realized I haven't even brushed my teeth this morning. I'm sorry. I read almost 70% of Someone to Trust by Mary Balogh last night. Full disclosure, I'm going to put these books all together at one and not intermix them, but I have not finished Season for Temptation at this point, and I am strongly considering a DNF. But I don't want a DNF for this series, but like I am really considering it, you know. I went to Albany last night. I will put in some video that I took of it. I went to, it was Thursday night, today's Friday. I went to see Disney on Ice with my niece and nephew. It was very fun, my first Disney on Ice experience, and they were, 1, enjoyed themselves, 2, perfect angels, which especially for my niece, I think was a little, not that like she's not well behaved, but she's only 3 and like it started at 7. It was 2 hours long. That's a lot. So we weren't like really sure how she was going to handle it. But they were both good. Honestly, like every kid, I did not hear a single meltdown in that whole arena. Like those kids were great little troopers. So yes, and then I made the probably unwise decision to drive home last night, which was not my plan. My plan was to stay at my brother and sister-in-law's in Albany. I live in Rochester, so it's like 3.5 hours. So yes, I was going to originally stay at their house and work from their place today. I have a coworker who's out this week, so otherwise I would have just taken today off. I have a camera, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not doing well mentally right now, and I'm in a very delicate mind frame. And then I hadn't seen the cats in like 8 hours, which is very unusual, and especially for like the evening time. And they have to go by the camera to like get to their litter box, to get to their food. And normally if they sleep, they're going to sleep upstairs. So not sleep like by their food. So I just was getting very nervous and anxious. And after Murphy, like I'm a lot better now that I'm here. But I still struggle with this, especially when I'm already at like I'm already at a 9. So it doesn't take a lot to get me to a 10. So I did make the decision to come home last night, and was that a good decision? I don't know. I arrived home safe. I did not fall asleep in the car. I did not even come really close to falling asleep in the car. It was pretty snowy, so it took like a little over 4 hours. I also stopped several times. I stopped twice to go to the bathroom, and once I stopped because I wanted to check the weather because it was snowing. And I wanted to just like look at the radar, and then my car has auto brights, and I couldn't remember how to turn it off. And when it's snowing, you do not want your brights on, so I had to figure out how to turn that off. So I'm working this morning, but I feel like I should not be. I am not here, but I really don't want to like move a bunch of stuff to next week. I would like to get stuff done. So, but I thought I would update you. So yes, I listened to Someone to Trust. It wasn't the only thing I listened to on my ride, but I listened to like 7% of it, like 6 or 7 hours worth. And at first I was like, I don't know. And now I'm leaning forward depending on what happens. This is like the 5th book in a series. And so, I don't know. I was just like a little confused at the beginning. I've read one Mary Balogh book before, I think. Maybe 2. I can't remember. But this is about a brother and sister-in-law. And so like her brother marries his sister. And they get together at Christmas, and like him and her family basically, and they kind of have a connection. She is a widow, and her husband was like an alcoholic and everything, and he did abuse her, like hit her and stuff when he was drinking. If it's something that she like talks about it occasionally. She lost 2 children. We know one was tangentially related to her husband's abuse. The other is like implied probably was. So she's 35, considering getting remarried. He is 26 and is looking at getting married. And they get along really well. And he, from like the very beginning, like keeps talking about marrying her, and she's like, you're silly, age difference, blah. And that's like the thing that was really starting to bother me, is I was like, how many times does he have to tell you that like he's interested in you and he doesn't care about the age difference? But like eventually it's getting annoying. Her name's Elizabeth, and I'm like, Elizabeth, shut up. So I don't know. And like, then she gets engaged to somebody and he's like, well, there's an age difference between you. How long is it? And it's 9 years. But he's 9 years older than her. And he's like, well, do you feel like you are too young? And she's like, no. And he's like, I'm a man. I can make my own decisions. So, yes. I will say, and I think this was the case for the other Mary Balogh book I read. Like, this is not steamy at all. They've kissed twice, and that is it. I can't remember. Hello. Hooligan in question. But if I don't even know what I was gonna say. I should probably not be doing this. I'm way too tired. So yeah, I completely lost it. Oh yeah, it's not very steamy. I don't think it is. I don't think she writes steamy books. But I feel like I can feel like the tension and the romance, and I am especially his like personal journey dealing with like his mom is very weird. Dealing with that is very interesting, and I'm curious to see what happens. But I do kind of feel like this is a little on the long side. We just keep having a lot of the same conversations, a lot of the same conflicts, which is fine, but like we're not going anywhere. So, you know, that's a little frustrating. I might finish it today. Usually when I work from home, I don't listen to audiobooks. But I might. I don't know. We'll see. Hello. I just finished Someone to Trust. And I gave it 4 stars. I actually ended up really liking it. It is, I don't know if slow is the right word. It's just tonally very different than I feel like a lot of romance that is written. This book isn't that old, but it feels a lot more like an older romance, which I think makes sense. I think Mary Balogh's been writing for quite a while. That makes sense, I guess. But it's not very steamy. It's not like high passion. But I was thinking about this like while it was finishing up, and it's hard to describe. It feels kind of like a period drama, like where there's very minimal like contact between characters. It's not explicit at all. And I mean, like, there are scenes, but like they're not descriptive or anything. And but like she acknowledges the characters have sex, and they kiss multiple times. They only have sex after they're married, but they do kiss. So spoiler alert, they get married. They do kiss several times before that, but it's not like really descriptive or anything. So it's just, I don't know. There's something to be said about that. Like, I like a steamy, sexy book as much as the next person. I literally read Gifting Me to His Dad or whatever by Jay Wilder earlier today. Like, trust me, I'm fine with it. But there is something in the like sweet moments in books like this that, when done well, is so good. You know, like, I was recently watching a video. I'll put her YouTube channel here. Her name's like Carolina, I think. She's Polish, and she's like a costuber, so like costuming YouTube. And it was from a couple of years ago, and it was when the Persuasion came out with what is her name? Is it Dakota something? Her parents are both famous actors. She's in 50 Shades of Grey. Oh my gosh, I can't remember her name now, but whatever. And she plays Anne Elliot, and I think it's a Netflix adaptation. And I have actively not watched it because I could tell that they changed Anne, and that is something that she talks about in that video, is like talking about these like gentle, sweet women and how like Hollywood hates them. And I do not disagree. And I think you see a lot of that in fiction right now too. And this is something I have complained about for years. And I think Elizabeth she's not Anne Elliot, like, levels of anything, but she's definitely like a softer, sweeter heroine. And I think you just don't read a ton of that. And there is something about a period piece. And I think Carolina talked about this either in that video or a different video about like ballroom scenes, like especially like the 2005, I think 2005 Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadyen. That ballroom scene I feel like is done so well, and to show like the chemistry you can have and like the attraction you can have with like such minimal like contact and engagement. And that's like kind of like the vibes this book gave me. Like it's not even like that passionate, but like it's there. And I will say that Colin, I hated how the narrator did his voice, because I had listened to this on an audio. I hated the narrators for like her voice for him, but he was just the best. Like, I love him. I don't think I have loved a male character like this in so long. He just has, oh, you're just eating. Like, I don't even know if this will make sense to anybody, and maybe this is not true, but this is like what I get, is he gives me Luke Brandon from the Shopaholic series, who I love and adore because of how he supports Becky. And like I've talked on this channel before about this one scene with Luke in Shopaholic and Baby that just is perfection. But he has like Luke Brandon energy, or like Kristoff from Frozen, like that kind of energy with Elizabeth. And Elizabeth is not like Anna or anything, but like he is just so sweet and caring, but still like a strong man and everything. You know, he's not an alpha or anything like that, but he just, the way he talks to her and he talks about her and the way he analyzes himself and how he reacts to things that she does and how he wants to react, and then he's like, no, that's not like the way I should do this. Like, I told her I wouldn't be overbearing, and I'm not overbearing. She can handle this situation on her own, and I'm not going to step in. And like, I think there's a place for you to step in with your partner and like potentially help them, especially if you know that's something that they want. Like, I'm the kind of person that like has trouble extricating myself from a situation, and so having somebody come in and like take me away, and maybe hypothetically being the bad guy, is something that I would really appreciate. But there are some times where you just want to like stand up for yourself, and you need to stand up for yourself. And he walks that line so well. He is excellent and wonderful. I do think the book was probably a smidge long. I think I said that before. But overall, I really liked it. So I have one more book for this series, or like this version of the video. I am going to have to wait though, because I have a library book for another version, and I need to get that read before I have to send it back. So, yes, but so far, this has been my favorite book that I have read out of any of these books, I think. Yeah, I'm going to say that. There was one in the not Christmas version that I did quite enjoy, but I think I like this a little bit more. But it's hard to compare them, so. And this one was also, I feel like, had like a decent amount of Christmas. Like, the beginning of them being together is at Christmas. Like, that's where they really connect. And like, we're constantly going back there in their heads, and like they're talking about that Christmas time and everything. And so I feel like there's something there that I really like. So, excuse me, that's my food. So yes, but I am happy I finished it. It was good. It was cute. And I think this is like the 5th book in this series. It's the Westcott series, and I'm assuming it follows other Westcotts, and that is Elizabeth's family. And let me tell you, those people are a hoot. So I am tempted to try and read the other books because they seem like a bundle of fun. So I might see if I can get those from the library as well, like next year, just to see. So, okay, I'm gonna eat my dinner. So, yeah, probably no more updates tonight. I don't know. We'll see. But so yesterday I started An Affair Before Christmas by Eloisa James, which I believe I have read this before. I own it physically. I have it on my red shelf. But I read it before Goodreads, so who knows? So I ended up just getting the audiobook from my library because it was available. And I am really enjoying it. I am like 40-ish% in, I think, right now. And yeah, I'm really, like, yesterday I came home from my shopping and everything, and I kind of just like sat around just listening to it and like finding other things to do while I could listen. And I haven't done that in a long time. So that was fun. And, you know, it's always nice to have a little enjoyable read. It's Eloisa James' book. I feel like she writes different romances than is standard. Oh, let me get the synopsis for you. It is in her Desperate Duchess series. I think it's the 2nd book. Magic Under the Mistletoe. One spectacular Christmas, Lady Perdita Selby, known to her friends and family as Poppy, met the man she thought she would love forever. The devilishly attractive Duke of Fletcher was the perfect match for the innocent, breathtakingly beautiful young Englishwoman, and theirs was the most romantic wedding she had ever seen. 4 years later, Poppy and the Duke have become the toast of the town. But behind closed doors, the spark of their love affair has burned out. Unwilling to lose the woman he still lusts after, the Duke is determined to win back his beguiling bride's delectable affections and surpass the heady days of first love with a truly sinful seduction. So it is like a second chance marriage in trouble romance, which I feel like Eloisa James writes fairly often, especially in this series. I have read This Duchess of Mine a couple of times, and A Duke of Her Own is one of my faves. A Duke of Her Own is weird because those characters are married as children, and then are like reunited. But still, like, they have to learn how to like be together or whatever. And then A Duchess of Her Own, you meet those two characters like throughout the series. And Gemma is like very prominent in this, the Duchess, and they have like a very tumultuous relationship, and she's kind of what's the right word? Like risque. That's not the word I'm like thinking of, but like she's non-traditional. So like people have a lot to say about her and everything. And Poppy has left her husband physically. Like obviously she's not divorcing him or anything. But she has left him and is living with Gemma. And she's very immature. Like, and by that, because I've talked about immaturity in some of these books, and by this one, I mean, she's very naive. I feel like maybe that's a better word. Like, the way her mom raised her, has really created a lot of naivety. Words are hard. And everything. And as their relationship has continued to fall apart, which I think begins sexually, which again is something I see a lot in Eloisa James's books, is like not every sexual encounter that these characters have together is positive and is amazing. And I have to say, love it. Love it. I know some people probably don't, but I do. I think it's realistic, and I think it's helpful to see characters who have to learn how to communicate with each other and work together and come together. So would I want to read it in every romance? No. But I like that she does that, and I think it's a realistic look at things, especially in a historical setting. So I really like that. So I think that's where it starts from in the relationship. and then just this like lack of ability to communicate with each other, and then they're just like slowly drifting apart, and they just can't seem to come back together and have the conversations that they need to have. There has been decidedly a little Christmas in this book. We're like in the summer right now, maybe spring, late spring. But I'm assuming the book like maybe culminates at Christmas, because I remember absolutely nothing about this book. So that's what I'm thinking, but I don't actually know. And Poppy is just like coming into her own right now. Mostly we are spending time with her. This series, especially by Eloisa James, you follow other characters. So really you usually follow the core romance, which in this case is Poppy and Fletcher. And then you are following the Beaumonts, which is Gemma and her husband Elijah. And then you are following the Duke of Villiers, who is Elijah's like childhood best friend. And he and Gemma have this like weird, not affair, but maybe it'll be an affair kind of situation going on, where they are playing chess against each other. And there's this big thing where Gemma is playing a chess match with both her husband and the Duke of VA. And they're playing like one move a day. And it's like the big gossip of the town because like scandalous. And it's 3 matches, like best of 3. And if they get to the 3rd match, it's played in bed blindfolded. And so like it's this big thing of like, what is going on? Like, oh. But she and the Duke have not had an affair, like at least not a physical one. I think some people might argue that emotionally, but it's a very weird thing. And for the Duke of VA, like there's these complicated feelings, like he's attracted to Gemma. I think he's more attracted to her mentally than physically, but also like she's married to his best friend, but that now they're not friends anymore. And like that complicated relationship, you know, it's this whole thing. So, you are following that throughout this as well. And so again, I think that this book is not for everybody. I think Eloisa James in general is a little non-traditional in the romance genre. But I generally enjoy her stories. So yes, I am enjoying this one a lot. She's very good at like describing things. She also tends to write things a little earlier than a lot of other people, like the 1700s instead, like 17th century, 18th century, I would say, or like that kind of inspired. So like her clothes are often like very dramatic and like very elaborate. And it's kind of nice to read something that's not like Georgian England, especially because I would not have looked good in a Georgian England dress. I'm gonna tell you, those like empire waist gowns would not have looked good on my body. So I like that. It's just different. So I'm enjoying this. Hopefully more Christmas comes, and hopefully I continue to enjoy it. So. Alright, so I just finished An Affair Before Christmas. I'm eating my dinner, but I'm going to stop to talk to you. And I treated myself to a garbage plate. And do my 23rd day of my advent calendar. This is when it gets hard because there's going to be one day left and all I'm going to want to do is finish it. But I'm waiting till tomorrow because that's how it works. But did I already say I finished An Affair Before Christmas? I finished it. Like literally 2 seconds ago. Oh. Kitty fell down. So yes, I finished it. I give it 4 stars. I did really enjoy it. Like, I thought it was fun. I feel like that's not right, but like it fits there. Okay, I guess we'll see how that goes. It was good. I enjoyed it. Not a Christmas book at all. Like, yes, the very end of it takes place at Christmas time. Like at a party and everything, but I would by no stretch of the imagination call this a Christmas romance. I understand that the title is called An Affair Before Christmas, but I just disagree that makes it a Christmas romance. I still, as I said, I gave it 4 stars, so I still really enjoyed it. But, you know, it was just okay. Or, like, from a Christmas perspective. I did really... excuse me. Oscar. No. I liked the resolution. I had seen some reviews where people complained about, like, where the source of the conflict in their relationship comes from. And I just have to say, like, I think it makes sense. Does it make sense necessarily in, like, present day? No, but I think in the context of the story and the context in which these characters, especially Poppy, was raised, I think it makes complete sense. So, is that right? Oh, okay, I guess it is. So I don't know. It's very much so an Eloisa James story. And there was a side plot with Charlotte Tetlock, if you've read this book, and the Duke of VA. And I was not sure how I felt about that plot line for a long time. And I ended up really enjoying it. I actually thought, like, the resolution was very interesting. And, yeah. Normally I break them apart if they come together, but I did not today. I cheated. So yes. But like I said, I actually really liked that plot line. And this kind of, like I said before, I had read a couple books in the series and, like, multiple times. And this did kind of make me want to, one, potentially reread the two I've never reread, which is Desperate Duchesses. And then I think the book right after this has, like, a green cover. Those two I've never reread. But it even made me, I haven't read this Duchess of Mine, which is Gemma and Elijah's story, in a long time. And I haven't read A Duke of Her Own, which is the Duke of VA's romance, in a long time either. And it kind of made me curious to, like, read those again. So, I mean, like, with what time am I doing that? I don't know, but maybe I will see if I can get them as, like, audiobooks, which I have been, like, I feel like that has pink, like it should be, oh, maybe it goes like this or something, and it's, because I don't think you fit there. Oh, maybe this way. I think next year, because I try to listen to an audiobook for like 30 to 45 minutes before I go to bed, as, like, I turn lights off and as I, like, do my, like, bedtime routine and everything. And so I think next year I'm going to do that with some historicals that I've been wanting to reread. And I was going to start with Sarah McLean's, one of her series, but maybe after that I will do this, because I can probably get these on audio from my library. So we'll see. But that is, hold on, let me actually look at you now. Hello. It is the 23rd and I'm trying to get this video up tomorrow. So I will try my hardest to have this up by Christmas Eve. Not all of these are going to be up by Christmas, but at least 3 of them, fingers crossed, will be. So yes, but I'm going to finish, well, not finish, but eat a substantial amount of my garbage plate that I treated myself to for my birthday. And I ended up having to go to the store today because my mom she needed scratch offs, I assume as Christmas gifts. And then, she wanted, a Mega Millions ticket because it's like $970 million or something. So she said she would split it with me if she won. I do not play the lottery. I do scratch offs occasionally. I find scratch offs fun. I like the ones that, like, require a lot of effort. Like Cashword is my favorite, which I feel like my store hasn't been having them. So I hope they didn't get rid of Cashword if you're in New York. I don't know how they're different in different states, because I know it's run by your state lottery. The lottery is a scam, by the way. I'm not going to talk about that, and how the lottery is supposed to fund education, but the whole thing is just a big scam. Anyways, but because I figure at least then, bingo too, I've played in the past. because I figure at least you're having fun in addition to winning or losing. I know some people disagree with me and some people think they just want to know if they win or lost, but that's my opinion. So yes, but I've never played the like Mega Millions or like the New York State Lotto or the Powerball, any of those things. I just like, that seems like too much to me, too much. But I'm not a big gambler. I have played slots occasionally, but I'm like really good at just like playing, like being like, I have 20 bucks and if it's gone, it's gone. Or if I like win, I'll be like, if I double my money, I'm walking away. And that's what I do. And I pay like penny slots. I do not do anything bigger than that. So yeah, so I had to go do that for her. And then apparently I needed breakfast on Wednesday because my dad's coming over. So I bought some cinnamon rolls at the store. So I did that. So I'm gonna eat, rest for a little bit, and then start editing this video, I think. So yes, and with like, put off the urge to finish my puzzle. I love a puzzle, but I don't know how to stop puzzling. So that's why this was a good idea for me. But anyways, so if you are in fact watching this on Christmas Eve and you celebrate Christmas, I hope you have an amazing Christmas. If you are watching it on Christmas Eve and you don't celebrate, I hope you have a great Tuesday and a great Thursday and a great rest of your life. I hope you all have a great rest of your life. Apparently somebody needs cuddles. Huh? Do you need cuddles? I'm gonna work from home tomorrow, so are you gonna be a good boy? I love you. I didn't mean it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Mommy loves you. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say such hurtful things. Oh, are you looking at the fan? The fan is fascinating, huh? Yeah. Okay. Say goodbye. Say Merry Christmas. He does not say Merry Christmas, apparently. He says no. All right.